Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is gonna be short. It's an update about the creeper only farm that I recently posted. So the reason why I decided to make this video today is that I actually found a way to increase the efficiency of my farm by a whopping 50%. But before I explain to you how it works, let's take a look at the finished product. And this here, in this chest, is what I got in a test of about an hour. The size remains the same. What's changed is the layout. As you can probably see, in my previous farm we had blue ice. In this farm we have alternated concrete and regular ice. So let me explain to you how it works. Here, in order to understand how it works, we need to explain something first. Something about ice. I stumbled upon an old bug, or maybe it's a feature, in which, as you can see, mobs do not move when they're standing on ice. They do not move except for one condition. If there is a solid block present within their detection range, they will eventually start to pathfind towards that block and then stand on it. Here, the first creeper just did it, and the other ones should follow soon. Once they have reached the solid block, they will not move from that block unless I put another block somewhere else, in which case they will sometimes travel between the two blocks. But even if they travel between the two blocks, they will never stop on the ice. The interesting thing about ice is that it is spawnable like a solid block, despite having this peculiar characteristic where mobs won't try to pathfind on it. So here we have an example with many more mobs. As you can see, they are walking, but they're only walking between lanes of solid blocks. Normally, they should never stop on an ice block. Sometimes they will, like this spider here, but probably stopped because it bumped into another mob, like this one just did right there. So I thought to myself, what if we tried and implement this fact into the layout that I made for my recent creeper farm? You might remember from the video, to which I'll leave a link in the description, that basically the layout in that farm is about having two rows of solid blocks next to each other, where one of the rows has spider preventing fence posts on it, along with trapdoors. So it looks a little bit like this. The new layout, however, is going to look very similar, but it will implement ice on the lane where we have our fences here. And instead of having a full line of fences, we're gonna have only one every 2 blocks. The reason for this is that when we next place our scaffolding with water, like so, so we have to imagine that this here is just another row, right? And we have our water running. Like so. Here we only have on this, the old design, we only have half of the blocks that are actually spawnable. The reason for this is that, of course, fence posts themselves aren't spawnable. So here we have only this line right here that is spawnable. Nothing on this line is spawnable. However, here, like I said earlier, ice blocks are spawnable, provided there is nothing underneath the trapdoor. So here, if we look at this, we have one line that's fully spawnable, and this line is half spawnable. Every block that's not covered with fence is now spawnable. And normally, if we only had regular solid blocks here, what would happen instead of the ice? What would happen is that the mobs would try to travel onto the block. And doing that, they would stop every 2 blocks. They would get stuck here, like this, and not be carried by the stream. But since we're using ice and mobs don't like ice, even if they do try to cross to the next solid block lane here, what will happen is that they will just get caught into another stream and continue forward towards the chute. So this is about it. This is our new layout. It's basically the same, except the lanes where we had only fences are now on regular ice, and every 2 blocks we have just the trapdoor. So let's go back to the finished product and look at it more closely. Here. So as you can see here, we have pretty much what I just described, which is fence, nothing. Fence, nothing. And trapdoors on ice. And by just doing this, instead of having, say we take these 4 blocks, instead of having only half of the blocks that are spawnable, we now have 3 out of 4. So we have an increase of 50%. And this increase is pretty much exactly what we can observe in the chest at the end. So this is about it for this update on this new farm. I'll leave a world download in the description, so feel free to download it and play around with it and try it for yourselves. And if you have comments, of course, as usual, don't hesitate to hit the comment section. Thank you for watching. Bye.